The following lecture is given by Shriman Kratu on the verses 30 and 31 of the chapter 5 of the canto 3 of Srimad Bhagavatam, titled Come Over False Ego, recorded in Denver, Colorado.
Aham tattvat vikurvanat mana vaikarikat bhuta vaikarika chaye deva artha abhivyajnanam yata. Translation: the false ego is transferred into mind by interaction with the mood of goodness. All the demigods who control the phenomenal world are also product of the same principle, namely the interaction of false ego and the mode of goodness. Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. False ego, interacting with the different modes of material nature, is the source of all materials in the phenomenal world. Text 31st. Taijasanindriyaneva Gnana karma mayani cha. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. The senses are certainly products of the modes of passion in false ego, and therefore philosophical speculative knowledge and fruitive activities are predominantly products of the mode of passion. Purport: the chief function of the false ego is forgetfulness. When a person forgets his constitutional position as an eternally subordinate part and parcel of the Supreme Personality of Godhead and wants to be happy independently, he functions mainly in two ways. He first attempts to act fruitively for personal gain or sense gratification, and after attempting such fruitive activities for a considerable time, when he is frustrated, he becomes a philosophical speculator and thinks himself to be on the same level as God. This false idea of becoming one with the Lord is the last snare of the illusory energy, which traps a living entity into the bondage of fruitiveness under the spell of false ego. The best means of liberation from the clutches of false ego is to give up the habit of philosophical speculation regarding the absolute truth. One should know definitely that the absolute truth is never realized by the philosophical speculations of the imperfect egoistic person. The absolute truth, or the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is realized by hearing about Him in all submission and love from a bona fide authority, who is representative of the 12 great authorities mentioned in the Srimad Bhagavatam. By such an attempt, only can one conquer the illusory energy of the Lord. Although for others she is unsurpassable, as confirmed in Bhagavad Gita 7.14. So Srila Prabhupada is very beautifully explaining these words in his purport. That is, false ego, even though he is a function of mode of goodness, is very thick layer. It's a very, very hard to overcome. Me and mine, aham mameti. False ego means aham kar. Aham means I. I am the only one. Kar. To proclaim or to announce. Kar. announce that I am the one, center of the whole creation. And it progressively increases by punsam striya maithuni bhavam etad trayo mitho hridaya granthi mahur ata gruha kshetra sutapta vitair janasya mohoyam aham mameti. Aham, mama, iti. Iti, everything that serves, that is mine. And I am the controller. Aham, mameti. Aham, me and mine, is the center of whole creation. And that's why ultimately Prabhupada says, dry philosophical speculators, they become ultimately God. I am. Aham, Brahma, Asmi. Aham Brahmasmi. I am the God. So Aham. No name of God in that mantra. They chant Aham Brahmasmi, or they chant Soham, Soham, Soham. Whatever you are, Krishna, I am the same. I am the same. No name of Krishna. So these kind of mantras are useless mantras. Any mantra that doesn't have holy name of Lord in it is useless mantra. Because I am the God. No need of Krishna's name. So this false ego, thick, aham mameti, last layer of Maya, Prabhupada says, is aham mameti. That's the last layer of Maya. Punsastriya maithuni bhavam etat. The attraction between male and female. Punsastriya. What kind of attraction? Maithuni bhav. Maithuni bhav. Sex attraction. Maithuni bhavam etat. Tayo mitho hridaya granthi mahar. Once they have maithun, sex, then both of their heart melts and becomes one. The heart becomes melted, and melted heart solidifies into one heart. Punsam striyam maithuni bhavam etat tayo mitho hridaya granthi mahur. Hridaya granthi. Hard knot of both heart. And from that hridaya granthi, from sex, children comes, and everything comes from there. The word stri means in Sanskrit, means expansion. So when stri, a wife comes, she brings all her expansions with her. And that is children. And once you have children, then Prabhupada says you have to have a nest to put your eggs into something. Birds also have same thing. So they built a nest, house. They have to have a house. And once you have a house, then you have to have pans and cooking pans and pots. And when you have a beautiful house and pans and pots, then you want to show it to other people. Your house, beautiful house. The custom in America is housewarming ceremony means you have to show your house, every single room, kitchen, bathrooms to others. Nest. Once Prabhupada was at rich man's home in India, big rich man, huge mansion. So Prabhupada was taken by that man to show his house, how beautiful it is. And then he bring Prabhupada to all rooms, and at the end he brought him to bedroom. And he said, this is master bedroom. And then he walked away, that man, and Prabhupada whispered that into his disciples' ear. And this is my sex life. This is my sex life. So this is whole purpose of material existence. Punsastriya maithuni bhavam etat. Tayo mitho hridaya granthi mahar. Ata, from that hridaya granthi, ata gruha. First thing is house. And then once you have gruha, ata gruha, then sutta, progeny. Nest is built before the eggs being laid down. So they have to have a house. Then the eggs are laid down. Ata Gruha Kshetra. Then to run that house, you have to have business, jobs. Gruha Kshetra. Suta. Then Suta comes. Children. Ata Gruha Kshetra Suta. And then Apta. My relatives. Apta. Vita. And then money. We have to go look for money. So these are the layers of false ego. Money, honey, house, business, children, progeny, relatives. These are the layers of false ego. Gruhakshetra sutapta vitair janasya mohoyam. Then gali ke, gaon ke. This street is mine, and this village is mine, and this nation is mine. I am American, I am Indian. Gruhakshetra sutapta vitair janasya mohoyam. Jan, mere jan, mine, my fellow beings. Janasya moho. Skin disease. White skin, black skin, yellow skin, Chinese skin disease. Prabhupada says it is only 1 millimeter thick. Underneath, everything is same. Everything is same. So that is moha. Janasya moha. Moha means illusion. Janasya moho yam. And last glare of Maya, aham mameti. I am the God. I am the one. Ahamkar. So this ahamkar, if we can lower it down to nothing, then you get so much bliss out of it. This ahamkar is suffering. It makes you suffer, big suffering. But the lesser ahamkar we have, the more blissful light we become. The lesser ahamkar we have, we become so light we can fly up in the sky like aeroplane. So nice, blissful. And that's why Lord Chaitanya, Rupa Goswami, Prabhupada, every single Acharya's first and foremost instruction is give up your false ego. Trunadapi sunichin. Give up false ego. You are more insignificant than a straw in a street. You are more insignificant than a worm in a stool. A worm in a stool has absolutely no identity of any kind. Disgusting. A very abominable. So it's a very nikrist worm in a stool. And who thinks, amongst all of us, who thinks that I'm more degraded and lower than that worm in a stool? Krishna Das Kaviraj sincerely thinks like that. Purishe rakita hoi muise lagist. Jagai madai hoi muise papist. I'm more lower than a worm in a stool. He didn't put down his whole name in his book. And many acharyas didn't let him put down their name in Chaitanya Charitamrita. Thinking lower than worm in a stool. Purishe rakita hoi muise lagist. We have to think more lower than that. That means false ego is cut down next to nothing. And that we become so light and so bright and so blissful, happy. Very blissful. Just think about this. Just give up false ego. Very difficult, but give it up. And see, one day, just take a vow one day. No false ego today. I feel myself more disgusted, more lower, more patit, more fallen, more joblo. I'm not even joblo. Just one day, try that. It's so light and so blissful, so nice. So this is false ego. False ego, it starts with I am. I am this body. I am. And as soon as we think I am the body, everything, false ego starts from there. But if I think I am the eternal servant of the servant of the servant of the servant, so many servants down to the road, line of Krishna, Gopi Bhartur, Padakamalayur, Dasa Dasanudasa. Servants of the servants. Very difficult to think like that. And if you think, very difficult to execute, very difficult to put in practice. We may think, but very difficult to put in practice. If you do, whole ISKCON movement will be Golok Vrindavan, right on earth planet. Right on earth planet. And this is the first instruction of all our predecessor Acharyas. Trinadapi Sunichena. Taroreva Sahisnuta. Become more tolerant than tree. If you are not tolerant, that means I am the one. You are wrong. I am the one. We are not tolerant because you are wrong. We don't become tolerant thinking that I am the one. Then you cannot become tolerant. Haridas Thakur tolerated 22 marketplaces beaten up by so many, not one or two. And he tolerated it. And at the end, he just pretended as if he is dead so that the soldier can be saved from the wrath of their king. So he pretended for their good. Jesus Christ tolerated his disciples, kneeling him down, hands and head. And he said, my dear Lord, they don't know what they are doing. Please forgive them. This is tolerant. This is the limit of tolerating. This is the limit, upper limit of tolerating. Taroreva said, even if you cut down the tree, he tolerates. Give us fruit, flowers, everything. If somebody cut our hand or leg, and he said, oh, thank you very much, Prabhu, I will still serve you. That's toleration. That's tolerating. But if somebody says something, you're nonsense, no tolerance. We should tolerate at least for 1 minute. If you tolerate, successful. But we cannot tolerate even 1 second. We should learn to tolerate for 1 minute. It's good enough. If you tolerate it for 1 minute. No tolerance. Immediately chakmak. Fire. Immediately fire. So this is false ego. Amanina manadena. And giving all respect to others. Amanina, worm in a stool. What man, what false ego, how much honor worm in a stool deserves. And we have to become even more lower than a worm in a stool without expecting any honor. Then false ego is curbed down. Amanina, manadena. Always giving respect to others. Apani amani. Bhaktivedanta Swami says, apani amani. Sakale manada, apani amani. Always giving respect to others. And apani amani. Never expect any kind of honor. This is curbing down our false ego next to nothing. False ego means I am the body, I am handsome, and I am the doer, and everything should revolve around me. That's ego. Nothing evolves around me. 100 years we will be finished. The true ego. Not that we have to give up ego completely. False ego we have to give up. The true ego we should imbibe every day. I am the servants of the servants of the servant of Krishna. I am the lowest. I should become most tolerant. True ego. We should cultivate true ego. So last glare of my aham mameti. I am everything. Everything evolves around me. That's the last glare of Maya. Thinking that I am the body. I am American. I am Indian. I am Japanese. Germany. Big, thick false ego. So, if you want to get rid of this false ego, Prabhupada is giving very beautiful solution. The absolute truth or the Supreme Personality of God is realized by hearing about Him in all submission and love from a bona fide authority who is representative of the 12 Mahajan. So we have to submit to the higher authority. At least the Guru, very difficult to submit to Guru also. Guru has to tell me what I want to hear. I can't do such things. He can say so many things. No, Guru means one who takes our charge to take us back to home, back to Godhead, by purifying us. We have to practice that purification here. And purification is so blissful. It is not something curbing down or distressful or anything. Purification is so nice bliss. So we have to hear from Prabhupada. We cannot minimize hearing. I always recommend to my disciples to hear while bathing 1 hour. Get up to put on clothes, it takes half an hour to 1 hour. So here, that time Prabhupada, so nice, early morning, while driving, while eating, while sleeping, while cleaning. Many activities where we can do the activities plus we can hear simultaneously. Serving Lord on alternate dressing, we can hear. We have to hear. We cannot minimize hearing process. Tat sunu. It starts with sunu. Start with hearing. And hearing from 12 Mahajan. Granthra Srimad Bhagavatam is made up of instructions given by 12 Mahajans. That is what Bhagavatam is. Instructions of 12 Mahajan. Bhishma Uvacha and Vidura Uvacha. Of course, Vidura is not Mahajan, but he is almost Mahajan. Mahajan means Swayambhu, Narada, Sambhu, Kumaro, Kapilo, Manu, Pralado, Janko, Bhishma, Balir, Vayasakir, Vayam. So this 12 Mahajan is speaking throughout Bhagavatam. Ajamil, Vayam, the constable of Nark, he is speaking. So, like that, we have to hear from the great authorities such as Prabhupada and our previous Acharya. Our previous Acharyas, so many nice, beautiful, purest possible Acharyas, so many. And so much literature is left by them, highest literature. And some of the literature, ordinary public cannot relate to that literature. They buried it, they give Granth Samadhi. They buried under the ground because people will not understand. But still, so much literature, beautiful literature, is left by these Acharyas, especially Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, Bhakti Vinod Thakur, Rup Sanatan, and Narottam Das Thakur. And what to talk about Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, exponent of our all Acharyas, beautiful literature. So many Acharyas, Baldev Vidya Bhushan, his disciple, scholars, beautiful literature. So we have to follow their footsteps. Prabhupada literature includes all this literature. That's the beauty of Prabhupada literature, that he includes all previous Acharyas' purports and thinking, and he's referring to their books also. So by such an attempt only can one conquer the illusory energy of the Lord. Although for others, she is unsurpassable, as confirmed in Bhagavad Gita 7:14. Devi Esha Gunamayi Mama Maya Duratya Mame Prapadyante Maya Metam Tarantite. Very difficult to cross over this illusory energy, thick illusion. But one who surrendered to Krishna and his bona fide representative, they can easily cross over Maya. Maya gives us pain every minute. False ego gives us pain. Maya means Gunamayi Maya, Trigunamayi Maya. Three modes of material nature, every minute they are spanking us. But if you surrender to process, Prabhupada, Guru, and process, then we can easily cross over this Maya. So false ego, we have to give it up completely. There is no question. The more thick false ego you have, the more suffering you have, the more burden you have. Become light as possible. Trunadapi sunis tarayavas manina manadena kirtaniyas. This is zero false ego. Atyahar prayasas prajalko niyamagraha janasangasya lolyams. This is false ego. Atyahar, more and more collecting mundane material things which are not necessary. Atyahar prayas, over endeavoring for material things. Niyamagraha, following the rules and regulations for the sake of following them. They are all anarthas, which increases our false ego. So we have to take this seriously. Especially Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's instruction, Astak, very, very beautiful instructions he is giving in that, all the way up to top. Ultimately, he brings us to love of Krishna. So this is the false ego. Any question anybody has?
You were talking about the false ego, and for some of us, it really gets in the way of our hearing the holy names and hearing Prabhupada quotes. So maybe you could say something about how we can get free from this false ego. It seems to be a very gradual process, and sometimes it's frustrating for devotees.
Yes, I explain what is false ego. And true ego means we have to do everything in connection with Krishna and his devotees. So the more we serve, the more we take seriously the service, we can easily get rid of our false ego. Krishna Tavasmi, my dear Lord, I am yours. Krishna, you are mine. That mamatva, one of the requirements of loving Krishna is possessing Krishna. You are mine. My dear Lord, you are mine. I am yours. Tum bina kya che amar. Narottam Das Thakur is singing, my dear Lord, without you, who is mine? Tum bina kya che amar. Hari Hari Bifale Janam Goaino. Without you, nobody is there for me, my dear Lord. It's all Maya's prapanch. It is all false. And if you don't think it is false, at the end of the life, it will all become false. Everything will be gone. Everything will be gone. And at the end, Sarir, body will be also gone to crematorium. And all it remains is you, subtle body, false ego, mind, subtle senses, and you go with it. Crazy mind, crazy false ego, crazy subtle senses, which goes with you, will make you crazy again in another life. So better we rectify that in this life where we have understood right thing and where we are at the threshold of entering into spiritual world. ISKCON is a threshold entering into spiritual world. So we should develop our true ego. Then false ego will subside. True ego means, Krishna, you are mine. I am yours, and you are mine. Krishna, Tavasmi. There is nothing else except you, my dear Lord, for me. That is true ego. My dear Gurudev, my dear devotees, my dear deities, my dear temple, my dear ISKCON, my dear Prabhupada. This is my identity. Nothing beyond that. This is true ego. So we cannot give up ego, but we can transform ego. We can identify devotees as my family. And here is Father, common denominator, Krishna. He is our father, mother. Pita ham yasya jagato, mata dhata pitamaha. Krishna is common denominator. And on that we can unite together. So this is true ego. True ego means whatever is the absolute truth, I identify myself with that. Krishna is absolute truth. Prabhupada is absolute truth. His books is absolute truth. His services in the temple is absolute truth. Because everything is geared up towards Radha Giridhari, Radha Shyam Sundar. It's all truth. And I indulge in that. And I identify myself with it. And I serve myself in this structure, developing that true ego. Then false ego will subside. So that's the only way. There is no other way. There is no other way. I identify myself. Jivera Swarupa hoy, not just stop there. But other part is important. Krishnera Nitya Das. If you remain Krishna's Nitya, eternal servant of the servant of the servant of Krishna, true ego should be entertained and false ego should be mitigated. Practice every day. Identify ourselves with Krishna and anything that is connected with Krishna, Hari Sambandhi Vastuna. Then the false ego will subside and true ego, yes, I am devotee of Krishna, I am devotee of Srila Prabhupada, my ego is transformed. So we have to develop the true ego. More we do this, the more blissful we become. We become so light. Lesser false ego we have, the more blissful we become, more light we become. So we should connect everything to Krishna and his devotees and his movement and his connect with him. That's true ego. Cultivate that. And take a vow. This is it. This is what my Gurudev or my Krishna or Prabhupada or devotee wants me to do. That's it. Just close your door. This is what I have to do. Clear-cut instruction. And make that mission of our life. Just like we were talking about Mother Nindra when we coming along. Prabhupada gave her instruction, only one instruction. And says, stick to it even to the last breath. Distribute my books in Denver, Colorado. And that's it. Narrow it down. False ego is gone. False ego is gone. We have to narrow it down. This is what I have to do. This is what my Gurudev wants me to do. Narrow it down. If not, it's not narrowed down, then ask Gurudev, what is that you would like me to do? And just take that vow and carry it out throughout your life. False ego is gone. This is what my Gurudev, my Krishna, my Prabhupada wants me to do. And I'm doing this. And when you say I'm doing book distribution, it's not false ego. I'm doing book distribution on the order of my spiritual master. There is no false ego. So we have to surrender to process. We have to surrender to the process and imbibe Krishna consciousness every minute. False ego is gone. Bali Maharaj, his false ego crumbled to the pieces. He was the emperor of the whole universe. And he was bound up by ropes and was put into the sutal. And still, false ego is zero. My dear Lord. Then what Krishna does? I become your security guard. I become your security guard. So this is beauty of bliss. This is a beauty of bliss. To develop our true ego and zero false ego. And become so blissful. We become so blissful. Hare Krishna.